Warhammer 40,000 Mechanicus II launches May 21st, that's 8 days away. The turn-based strategy sequel from Bulwark Studios offers two completely separate playable factions, the Adeptus Mechanicus and the Necrons. Each comes with its own narrative campaign, unit roster, and tactical identity. The Mechanicus uses cover and terrain defensively, while the Necrons can simply destroy terrain outright. Above the tactical layer sits a strategic map where you're capturing and defending regions, managing resources, and racing against a planet-wide awakening event depending on which faction you're playing. Both sides also have character-level progression, tech priest leaders for the Mechanicus, a customizable court of Necron nobles for the other side. The original Mechanicus was well regarded for making the Adeptus Mechanicus feel genuinely distinct, and this sequel doubles down by making the Necrons an equally developed option. The Talos Principle III has been announced as the concluding chapter of Crow Team and Devolver Digital's first-person puzzle series. Set in a place called the Anomaly, where physics behave unpredictably, the game spans more than a dozen worlds built from crumbling temples and abandoned science outposts. Players piece together fragmented memories while tackling increasingly complex puzzles. The story, written by Jonas Kyratsis, Verena Kyratsis, and Tom Joubert, explores themes of life, death, and a terraformed future history. Forza Horizon 6 now has confirmed launch times, and if you're on the premium edition, you're playing in 2 days. Standard access opens May 19th, but premium players can start as early as May 15th, both at 12:01 a.m. local time. Preload is available now. The game is set across Japan, with over 550 licensed cars and a version of Tokyo that the developers are calling the largest urban area ever built in a Forza Horizon game. Beyond racing, the game features a co-op campaign, 2 battles rooted in Japanese car culture, the Event Lab creation tools, and a new Horizon collab mode for building together with other players. Online co-op and player versus player modes are included at launch. A version for one additional console is confirmed but arriving later in the year. Subnautica 2 has a confirmed release date and launch times. The underwater survival sequel is heading into early access very soon. Developer Unknown Worlds is bringing the game to PC first, and this time co-op is built in from the start, supporting up to 4 players online with cross-platform multiplayer included. The setup puts you on an entirely new alien ocean world after a colony ship malfunction leaves your group stranded, with the ship's AI insisting the mission must continue despite everything going wrong. You'll build bases, pilot a submersible called the Tadpole, and scan alien wildlife ranging from small creatures up to deep-water leviathans. The original Subnautica launched into early access back in 2014, so the team has a clear blueprint for how to run this kind of long development window. Garfield, Escape from Monday, a 3D platformer from publisher Microids and developer Osum Studio, has been announced. The game traps Garfield in a nightmare triggered by spinach lasagna and tasks him with eating his way through 3 worlds filled with enemies and collectibles to wake up. Traversal abilities are tied to costume changes, a turkey suit for gliding, a surfer outfit for water, and a cowboy lasso for swinging, while John, Odie, Arlene, and Pookie appear as supporting characters. Alabaster Dawn is already out in early access. It launched May 7th, and it's worth your attention right now, especially if you played Crosscode. This is a top-down 2.5D action RPG from the same studio, Radical Fish Games, and it builds directly on that combat foundation. You play as Juno, an outcast waking up in a world cursed by an entity called NYX, with the task of reviving sleeping humanity and hunting down opposing gods. The combat gives you 4 elements and 8 distinct weapons, each with its own full skill tree, and you can swap loadouts mid-fight. Beyond combat, the game involves rebuilding settlements and establishing trade routes, with those changes reflecting visually in the world. The planned full release is targeting 30 to 60 hours across 7 areas, and a free demo is still available if you want to try before buying in. Beyond the Plastic Wall, a pixel art 2.5D point-and-click adventure from ARTE France and Motvine Studios, has been announced for PC. Players follow Hal, a young scavenger who discovers a box of mysterious letters and sets out across a ruined world to find their author inside a walled-glass city. Progression involves repairing broken machines through mechanical puzzles, engines, coded phones, archive computers, each operating on a shared internal logic that players gradually learn. NOIR Bloom was announced today, and its core concept is immediately clear. It's a 2D action game built entirely around the rhythm of disarming enemies and turning their weapons against them. Developer Honky Games is calling it a gun-fu action game, and the setting is a neon-R eastern city called Cowwing, neon-lit skyscrapers, shanty districts, downtown markets, all rendered in a dark, stylized 2D aesthetic. You play as a former operative called the White Wraith, re-entering a criminal underworld to rescue someone taken by a crime lord, which is the framework for a series of escalating combat encounters. The design emphasis is on reading enemy patterns, countering attacks, and chaining disarms into improvised weapon use. It's a solo developer or small team project targeting PC. No release window has been confirmed. Echoes of the Flame was announced today, a 2.5D turn-based RPG from solo Japanese developer Kono Tabari, with a Japanese release planned for 2026 and an English version targeting 2027. The structure is built around two separate parties making parallel journeys toward the same destination, a sacred peak called Coral, with the story unfolding through alternating perspectives between the two groups. Combat replaces traditional experience-based leveling with combat points earned through story progression, which you assign directly to skills, passive abilities, and stat boosts. Enemies have a shield value that absorbs damage until depleted, so each fight has a two-phase rhythm: break the shield, then focus HP. A keyword system lets you gather phrases through exploration and present them to specific NPCs to unlock hidden lore. It's an ambitious solo project, and the 2027 English window gives it time to develop. Serpent's Gaze, a cooperative action RPG with Souls-like combat and roguelike structure, launches into early access on May 25. Players take the role of a scion created by a dying tree god and must fight through handcrafted levels set in an ancient desert to defeat rival deities, with support for 1 to 4 players. Each run introduces random curse modifiers, including mini-boss hunters and environmental hazards, while an awareness system makes successful runs progressively harder. The Necromancer's Tale has a release date, June 24. The Gothic RPG from developer Ian Lowson is coming to multiple current platforms on that date. The game is set in an alternate history kingdom near Venice in 1733, a period sitting at the intersection of early rational science and widespread superstition, and you play as a minor noble who stumbles into necromantic arts while pursuing revenge. The scope of the writing is significant: 400,000 words of handcrafted narrative, 180+ NPCs each with individual portrait art, and a trust system that tracks how the townsfolk perceive you across every conversation and decision you make. Let trust drop too far and you face trial or a mob. Combat is turn-based and involves your undead minions, weapons, and battle spells. A single playthrough runs 25 to 50 hours. No generative AI was used in the game's production.